This video will teach you how to set goals for your summer internship to have the best experience. First, you may be asking, why should I bother with writing goals? First, it'll help you narrow down on what actually matters this summer. You only have a limited amount of time, so make sure that what you're doing is most important to you and to the organization. Also, goals will help you keep track of what you've accomplished and demonstrate your impact. Sometimes that can even lead to a better recommendation or a full-time job offer. And goals help you align your expectations and what you hope to get out of this summer with those of your supervisor. So some things to think about when it comes to setting your goals. The first is, why did you select this internship to begin with? What were some of the things that you were hoping to learn? Then take a look at the organization's goals. Where can you have an impact? Take a look back at the job description and your responsibilities to see if there are things that you can draw out from there. Make sure that you're realistic and keep in mind that you've only got 8 to 10 weeks for this summer internship, so these goals need to be within reach. And start with the end in mind. What do you want to be able to add to your resume when everything is said and done? When it comes to goal setting, the best acronym to remember is SMART. This means that you want to create goals that are specific, meaning that you have gone into detail about what it is that you actually want to accomplish, not speaking in generalities. You want to make sure it's measurable. How will you know when you have completed the goal? What will be your measurement to benchmark your point of success? Is it attainable? Is it something that you think you can actually achieve given the time frame or your own set of skills, expertise, or those of your supervisor? Does it actually make sense with the mission of the organization and what your future goals are? Is it relevant to the work that you should be doing? And lastly, you want to make sure that you have a time frame in mind when setting goals so that you can keep on track and make sure that you have appropriately finished it within the time frame provided. So here's an example of a pretty general goal that a student might come up with for their summer internship. This summer, I will improve the organization's social media presence. That's fine, but it's not very smart. In this case, what the student should do is try to make sure that this goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. In this sense, we've made sure that this goal is specific by indicating how we plan to do this, running contests, distributing newsletters, and posting social media content. We've made it measurable by indicating the specific number of followers that they want to gain for the company. We've made sure that it is attainable by keeping in mind what is reasonable to expect for this company. For some companies, 1,000 might be a great idea. For others, maybe it's 200, or others, maybe more. So keep in mind what is actually within reach. It's relevant because in this case, that is the purpose of their summer internship, and we've made it timely by setting in the August 2023 deadline. Another thing to keep in mind is what you are actually hoping to learn. So learning outcomes can take a variety of different shapes. These could be things that you want to develop personally. Maybe that's you want to get better at managing your emotions when you're in high stress situations. It could be something you want to gain professionally. Maybe one of the things you hope to learn is more about an industry that you're specifically interested in. It could connect to your academic coursework, or it could be based on some specific technical skills that you're hoping to gain. Or it might be more of developing a stronger knowledge base, a better understanding of how nonprofit works, for example. Either way, when it comes to setting learning outcomes, you want to have really strong action verbs. This is a chart showing Bloom's taxonomy, which shows different ways of learning from lower order, that ability to recall or just say something that you had learned, kind of reiterating, to higher order, where you're actually taking the things that you've been learning and creating with them. Think about what you're hoping to do this summer and what you're hoping to learn. You want to have a wide variety of learning outcomes, things that hit across these different taxonomies. So don't just stay down in the recall or examine, but really think about how by the end of the summer, you might be able to do something that's more evaluative or synthesizing your knowledge to create something new. The biggest piece of advice when it comes to writing SMART goals or learning outcomes is to start with the end in mind. As we talk about when it comes to resume preparation, you always want to utilize action verbs whenever you're writing resume bullets. Well, a good thing to think about now is what resume action verbs do you want to be able to articulate at the end of the summer? This is a good thing to share with your supervisor to make sure that they have an understanding of what you're hoping for as well. At this time, I want you to take a few minutes and think about one SMART goal that you have for your time in Pittsburgh this summer. You can use the worksheet provided to help ensure that you are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely.